Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. Perfect on paper. Wife left me for her abusive ex-boyfriend. The storyline is as follows. I'm 31 years old, she's 27. We've been married for 5 years and have been together for 8. I'm still madly in love with my STB ex-wife. During the summer of 2018, she began to express a need for separation or space apart. I'll explain why this was a legitimate request. We've been in nursing school since 2016, working towards our bachelor's degrees. Since 2012, we have shared a studio apartment. Basically, we were together 24 hours a day, doing almost everything together. There were a few exceptions. One of us would wander out and do our own thing, but these were few and far between. In any event, the first time she mentioned a desire for space, we discussed it, and her only choice to stay someplace else was at her parents' home. She doesn't feel at ease there, and she didn't like the notion. We then discussed marital therapy. We discovered that marital therapy is very costly and much above our student budget. She informed me about some of the problems between us that were upsetting her at the time. We had too many little conflicts, and both of us would get caught up on trivialities. She said that I was controlling and cited 3 examples. I informed her when she could and could not purchase goods, and she felt as if she required my approval at all times. The second issue was that I pushed her too hard to go to the gym and eat healthily. The third was that she felt as if I was speaking of her as if I were her father, instructing her what to do. The first 2 were difficult for me since she insisted on having complete control over our money and budget. I had to manage our money so that we would have enough to last us through the summers of 2016-2019. In terms of the gym, she expressly urged me to push and inspire her to be healthy. When I questioned her about these 2 issues, she stated I overdid it. Now, I am guilty of speaking of her as if she were her father. I assumed I knew better and did not give her enough freedom. I wasn't fond of telling her what to do, but I now see that I did it often enough to create problems. Being together and doing everything together is quite difficult. We were overjoyed with our marriage. She informed me and everyone else that she loved me more than anything, that she was pleased, and that she knew about our future plans. She'd make up pleasant visions of us doing things in the present and future. Our life was fantastic. She told me that I gave her the finest she'd ever had. Others often referred to our connection as goals. Strangers would cover our bar and restaurant bills. This has happened 3 times. We worked as a team to go from our humble beginnings to finding our true love. We inspired each other to do better. In May 2019, we will both graduate from nursing school. We'll spend a lot more time apart after we graduate, dubbed space. Instead of sharing experiences, we shall have distinct ones to speak about. We'll have plenty of money to go out and do the things we've been missing out on. We won't be as stressed out from school money problems and always being together. We'd reclaim our individualism. In the foreseeable future, the actual saga began around the end of December 2018. She has been attempting to create new, intimate pals, but her efforts have been futile. She doesn't speak to her previous acquaintances because of conflicts and destroyed bridges. She requested if she could contact her violent ex-boyfriend via me. They had a wonderful relationship before they dated, and he was the only person in her background who was willing to be friends with her. Naturally, I said, no, that's a poor idea. She still did it, telling me that I had to let her make her own decisions. That rekindling of a friendship rapidly became an emotional affair. I instantly sensed something was odd, and we argued over her stopping this connection with him. 3 weeks later, at the end of January, she informed me that she was divorcing and moving in with her parents to give us some space. She said that she had fallen out of love with me and that she needed time to sort herself out. I was sad since she had departed the next day with several of her clothes. Her parents contacted me and we spoke. She had moved in with her violent ex that day and hadn't spoken to her parents until the following day. She also lied to them, telling us just that she had parted from me. I chatted with my SBTX a few days after she went to find out the truth. She informed me that she had moved in with him, slept with him, and that we were no longer together. I left my place to reside with relatives. My friends and family have been really supportive. Her whole family is behind me, and they are fed up with her, to the point of cutting her out. Her previous connection with this aggressive ex-boyfriend has left her emotionally and physically scarred, once leading to a hospital visit, not the present. After 18 days, we talked again. She informed me she left because we no longer had a spark, and she doesn't see me in her future. She informed me that our relationship was great on paper, and that I was extremely kind to her. But she now claims that she was not in love with me for 2 years. She proved it to me and everyone else we know. Then she informed me that the entire incident was her fault, and that she deserves whatever terrible things come her way. She has informed our common acquaintances that she feels lonely since none of our friends or family members are there for her. I believe it is clear why no one is rooting for her. She cheated on her beloved spouse and fled her cruel ex. She claims she never cheated on me. She believes that since she stated her want for a separation and then slept with him on the same day and moved in with him, she is not cheating. Will have to tell me. She claims to love him and be content. The future. I'm suffering from PTSD, anxiety, and panic attacks. I put my confidence in her and gave her my whole heart. I wish she had simply informed me what the problems were and how severe they were so he could have worked them out sooner. I wish we could solve things right now, but I know that's not feasible. We were so close to achieving our dream of earning a degree and living a happy life together. Now I have to see her at school every day and feel devastated all over again. My pain is compounded by the fact that she was my best friend. That is what I am missing the most right now. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. Given the circumstances, I wrote it as good as I could. Please assist if you have any advice for me. Story 2. Wife cheated the whole time. Long story short, not that short enormous wall of text ahead, sorry, bear with me. I have been experiencing major anxiety issues since T-Day, Knob 16, said she was having a physical and emotional affair with a person who was meant to be my buddy the whole time we were married. When we met, she admitted to me that she cheats, and she's gone since her father killed her mother because he suspected she was cheating. She deleted him and pledged to never speak to him again, and we were going to attempt to mend things, which ended in catastrophe since I had zero faith in her and knew I was being tricked, and everyone hasn't received the entire story. She swears there was that she never saw it, that she never touched it, and so on. I might have forgiven her since it had been so long, 9.5 years married, 10, but I couldn't forgive her for talking to him the whole time because I believed he was a great man. D-Day occurred shortly as I returned from hunting. My Facebook had been hijacked, and when I got into the messenger, I saw a Switch account light up, so I clicked it suspiciously. I saw her in my account. Now, I've never known her password or anything about her, so I couldn't have signed into her account, therefore she had to have. But, in any case, there it was. I clicked it because I had doubts about her faithfulness. I noticed texts from them, leading to him stating she should be more brave in allowing him inside the homes since I was gone for the weekend and she had the whole place to herself. He wishes he could be there. I've already told you how ashamed I am of snooping. Finding a marijuana vape in her bag, which she said was handed to her. Then she viewed a video on her phone showing off her body in the tub moving from her feet to her face, not displaying but her reconstructed chest. I saw her via weird 3 breast cancer, blowing a kiss and winking before the camera moved back to her feet. She said she texted it to her closest buddy in order to feel beautiful. I felt embarrassed to be gazing. I despise how I seem. I even checked her smartwatch after she reset her phone password to see whether she had received any messages. I saw nudes again, this time without to a female she works with, to whom her friend said, "Great view, want me to come over," and so on. A few days later, her female buddy asked WW if she wanted to be devoured. I woke WW up and told her I wanted to ask her a question. She came in one morning and was dissatisfied. I inquired whether she still wanted to be devoured. What does she do? So I'll say it again. What? She exclaimed. No. Why? I answered, well, you did it at 8:30 tonight, and I figured I could assist you with that. If you saw her face, you puke. So I inquired how long the lesbian affair had lasted, which she denied until ultimately admitting she had placed such messages on there knowing I would check for them. I told her that she disgusted me. Either she's suddenly bi or whatever, which is okay if that's what she wants, but if that's not the case, she was attempting to use my anxiety issue as a weapon. Anyway, you all reached out and provided me with much-needed assistance. Responding to your mails helped to relieve my anxiousness for a few days. Then I began filling out divorce paperwork. Anxiety increased, perhaps knowing it was the beginning of the end after over 15 years together. I've been doing well, and I'm beginning to feel as if I don't care what she's doing. I'd feel less anxious knowing she'd be gone all evening while I was at work, and I'd stop spying. Even though I knew she had erased everything, I still had to check her watch when she would leave it out. When my worry would become unbearable, I would remind myself, it doesn't matter whether you're getting a divorce. It was very awful today. I simply got a horrible sensation all over. Because my anxiousness is psychosomatic, I've been feeling queasy all day. Tonight after work, I played video games with coworkers since it distracts and distresses me. I felt an intense need to glance at her watch as soon as we called it a night. I became obsessed with the moment at which I felt driven to look. I literally couldn't stop myself. I noticed a handful of texts from the girl that I'm not sure WW saw. If not, she'll find out very quickly that I looked, or she'll say them and leave them for me to torture myself with. Her girlfriend informed her that they had agreed to be friends with benefits, and that until the divorce was finalized, there was nothing else for them to do except hang around and smoke cannabis, perhaps other drugs as well, debt stress, etc. But no longer that WW is being too demanding, behaving as if they're in a relationship, and she couldn't handle the added stress. That she loves her, but WW is overbearing. I'm not going to murder myself. I never do anything like that to my friends or family, but I don't want to wake up. My non-anxiety-afflicted acquaintance continues urging me not to worry and so on. I'm not sure how. Our finances are not in a position where either of us can walk away. We're compelled to coexist until the home sells. I also have deep-seated self-esteem problems. I'm seeing a therapist, but being able to count on one hand how many times I've had in the previous 7 years as a 35-year-old guy is depressing. Previous infidelity as a teen, getting broken up with on April Fools over speakerphone, and so on all had a role, but being informed she's not that attracted to me. Then using post-cancer as a reason not to. Completely wrecked how I felt on the inside. I know it's only been 2 months, but based on what many of you have mentioned, it will most likely take years after leaving her to feel normal. I'm not sure whether I can do years. I'm not sure I'll ever trust a woman again. I'm unable to eat. I can't sleep for more than 5 hours at a time. I'm able to function at work because my family and friends speak to me every day, and my boss is one of my closest friends, and as his team leader, I'm given some latitude. I apologize for publishing such a large wall of words. Perhaps I'll put it at the top. Anyway, I'm just hoping that you nice strangers would assist me in the same manner you did previously, since this is killing me. I informed my friend that she's still twisting the knives and I'm a who continues staring, so I'm simply giving her more blades. Even if you don't leave a remark, I appreciate your time. You don't have to like me since I'm not searching for karma. This is what I'll leave you with. Today I had a shower idea that explained everything. She's a prostitute, and I was partner number 60 or 70, or whatever because she claimed she felt like a piece of meat and a toy for years when she was younger, so she behaved like it. I believe she basically banged everybody she needed to in order to obtain what she wanted. She stopped when she discovered she could get what she wanted from me without having. In the initial event, the individual was a small-time marijuana dealer. She doesn't recall why she was at his house. Well, I believe it was to him for free canvas, just as it is today with this female. I believe that is also evident in the most recent texts. Thank you for taking the time to read this.